Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. I'm here to bring you some Friday night lights out here. Nice county rivalry game between the visiting Keene High Blackbirds and the hosting Monadnock Huskies. Game is set to start in a few minutes. They just had their senior night ceremony for the Monadnock seniors. Amongst them, Zion Carroll, Dylan Cashman, Nate Doyle, Aiden Hart, Justin Joslin, Victor Latito, and Will O'Brien. It's a weird season in every sport and every place right now. But credit to both teams. They're showing up and they're about ready to give us what should be a pretty fun, pretty good cross-county rivalry between these two Cheshire County teams. The Huskies, of course, 2 years removed from a state championship. Last year they put together another impressive run and found themselves back in the playoffs, though they suffered a tough defeat at the hands of Hillsborough Deering in the first round. Keene, meanwhile, has been trying to build up their program sort of from the ground up under their first-year head coach from last year, Linwood Patnode. A familiar name for the Monadnock Huskies as he played a role in helping to build up that program. Of course, can't understate the impact of the current head coach, Ryan Avery, the one who actually led them to that state championship a couple of years ago. It's two very interesting programs, a very interesting matchup coming up. The two teams lining up along the sidelines. And this game will probably be getting underway shortly. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire for what should be a fun cross-county matchup between the hosting Monadnock Huskies and the visiting Keene High School Blackbirds. Monadnock coming into this game with a 2-0 record following 2 wins over Campbell and Laconia. They'll be hoping to keep that momentum going. They opened the season on the road against Campbell a couple weeks ago and defeated the Campbell 28-20. And then last Friday night, they got to play their first home game and defeated Laconia soundly 44-8. So plenty of momentum to keep up for the Huskies as they won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff from Keene. Monadnock's got 2 players deep as they get ready to receive the kickoff from the Keene kicker, number 59, Taylor Bemis. 2 teams are lined up, and we're about ready to get this one underway. Bemis gives his signal. And we're off. The kick goes in. It's a bit of a squib. It's bobbled, but then fallen on by the Monadnock returner just past the 20-yard line. That was number 28, Aiden Hart, who struggled to field the squib kick. And so Monadnock will start with not the most ideal field position they could have had after that kick, but still slightly better than a touchback as they start at their own 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Huskies as they bring out their signature wishbone offense. Nate Doyle at quarterback, Hayden Haddock at fullback, Justin Joslin and Aiden Hart the running backs. The snap, they give, and runs into the pile for a short gain. Slightly to the right side that run went. That was Aiden Hart who took the handoff on that one. And he gains 4 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 6 at about the 25-26 line. Huskies come out in their signature wishbone once again. Doyle takes a snap, gives. I believe that's Hart once again. He gets stuffed at the line trying to fight his way through. I think he might have found a slight gap and managed to get himself a nice gain. That was Hart once again. He got stuffed at the line. It seemed like Keene had him pinned for no gain or maybe even a loss, but he somehow found a hole and pushed his way through for a short gain. He gains 3 yards, and we've got 3rd and 3 now. Monadnock at their own 29-yard line. They come out in the wishbone. Doyle takes the snap. He gives to Jocelyn this time, and I think he might have gotten tripped up at the line. Big defensive stand by the Blackbirds. Some nice tackling there. I think one of the players in on that tackle for Keene was number 8, Eric Norman. A few players did well to gain penetration on that play. And so it'll be 4th and short. It's 4th and 2 at the 30, and Monadnock's going to go for it. So we've got our first going for it situation. Monadnock with a slightly different formation from usual. Doyle gives. Oh, this is going to be close. They push. The whole line's pushing on that one. Where are they going to spot it? Yeah. They got it. That was old school football if I ever saw it. Couldn't quite see who got the handoff on that one, but they pushed right into the pile, and that was a team-earned first down right there. Everybody on the field was pushing either one way or the other, and ultimately Monadnock won the push of war. Huskies come back out in the wishbone on first down. Doyle takes the snap, fakes the give to Jocelyn, gives to Hart. Hart runs to his right, and they take him down. Nice bit of tackling by Keene. The Keene players hyped up. Oh no, that was a fumble. It was a fumble on the play, and it was recovered by Keene. It looks like it was Keene's number 26, Marcus Rokes, who came away with the recovery. Huge play by the Blackbirds defense, and they'll be taking over inside Monadnock territory at about the 35-yard line. Huge play for them there. Keene also coming out in the wishbone here. Snap is taken, handoff, trying to find an opening, but gets wrapped up. That's Tanner Payne under center, number 1, the quarterback for Keene. I believe the give was to number 2, Jonas French. Gains about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7. So both teams running primarily the wishbone offense should make for an interesting match. It's all kind of going to come down to who wins those push wars in the trenches. And it looks like we've got our first timeout. I think this will be a timeout for Monadnock, as they were trying to get lined up in time. So Coach Ryan Avery will go out and talk to his guys. Keene's head coach Linwood Patnote will talk to his, as we get ready for this 2nd and 7 situation on the Monadnock 32-yard line. Monadnock, they pushed, old school style, blue collar style to a first down, a big conversion on 4th and 2. But then Keene came up with a heads up defensive play one play later as they stripped Aiden Hart of the ball, and it was recovered by number 26, Marcus Rokes. So the timeout ends, and it looks like the Monadnock defense is coming back out to face Keene's wishbone offense. Tanner Payne back under center for Keene. He takes the snap. There's the give, and wrapped up around the legs of the line. Nice tackle by Hayden Haddock on Keene's number 4, Christian Oxendine. So that time they gave it to Oxendine after giving it to French on the first play. Well wrapped up at around the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. Oxendine's got a bit of a size advantage on a lot of players out here, but Haddock very smartly wrapped him up around the waist, tripped him up, and brought him down. Keene now coming out in the I formation here for a 3rd down and 6 to go. Payne takes the snap, he gives to French, and French gets tackled by a couple of Monadnock players around the line. That's going to be a short gain, maybe even a loss. And it'll be 4th down, but Keene's kind of in no man's land here. They're probably going to have to go for it, depending on how much faith they have in their field goal kicker.
4th and 6.
It'll be 4th and 6, so no gain on that play. Again, this is going to be a game 1 in the trenches. Whoever manages to push the pile more than their opponent is going to win the day tonight. Keene coming out in the wishbone for a 4th and 6. Payne under center. Takes the snap, fakes it, it's going for a pass. He throws it, overthrows his man. He was aiming for French. Nate Doyle was in pursuit, but if that was a clean catch, that could have gone for a 1st down, maybe even a touchdown. But the throw misses the mark, and that'll be a turnover on downs for the Blackbirds. So after a couple of rough turnovers for both offenses to start this game, Monadnock retakes possession, and the game remains scoreless. Keene 0, Monadnock 0. And Monadnock will now be starting at their own 31-yard line. Still 7:35 left to go in this first quarter. And temporary whistle there. Not sure quite what that was, but either way, we're now set up to play once again. Monadnock back in the wishbone. Nate Doyle under center, takes a snap, give to Justin Jocelyn. He finds a hole, barrels through, breaks one tackle, and he drags another guy all the way to the 1st down. Biggest run of the game thus far by senior Justin Jocelyn, and he barrels his way all the way to the 1st down. His lineman gave him a nice hole to run through. He burst through it like a cannonball, ran over one guy and bounced off him and kept going, and then one player wrapped him up from behind, but he just kept on churning and churning until he got that 1st down. Big run by Jocelyn. Monadnock now at its own 42, and the give is once again to Jocelyn. He breaks a tackle at the line and barrels ahead for another solid gain. The ability to break tackles is going to be so huge. As if it wasn't huge to begin with two teams that are such run-heavy offenses. Like I said, it's going to be one in the trenches. It's going to be one old school, rough and tumble style. Just the way I think both these teams would like it. Doyle takes a snap out of the wishbone, gives to Hart this time. And Hart manages to plunge ahead for another short gain. So Monadnock inching and crawling towards midfield. They're at their own 49-yard line. 3rd and about 3 to go now, after a 4-yard gain on 1st down by Jocelyn and a 3-yard gain there on 2nd down by Hart. 3rd and 3, Monadnock back out in the wishbone. Doyle takes a snap and takes it himself. He had a nice hole to run through. Heads up call there, and I believe he's got the 1st down. That's always the scary thing about this Monadnock offense. They won't just kill you with their backs. Their quarterback will take it himself if he sees the opening, and that was a heads-up call. For those of you New England fans, it was sort of like one of those Tom Brady sneaks where he notices, oh, I've got about 3 yards ahead of me since they're not covering the center, so I'll just tuck it and run. Well played by Nate Doyle, and he gets his team a 1st down and into Keene territory. They are now at the Keene 46-yard line. They line up in the wishbone for 1st and 10. Doyle takes a snap, give to Jocelyn. Jocelyn runs to the left and gets tripped up. Not a big gain on that one. Good penetration through the line by the Blackbirds. Nice play on the defense there. A couple guys in on the tackle there. And I think one of them who got through on some key penetration was, again, Taylor Bemis. So it'll be 2nd and about 9. Monadnock back in the wishbone. Snap, give to Hart. He runs up the middle and runs into another wall. So taken down after another short gain. Possibly even no gain. It's going to be 3rd and either 8 or 9. 3rd and 8. So 2 1-yard gains from each of the 2 running backs. Monadnock's going to be looking for a big gain on this one to either get the 1st down or set themselves up for a 4th and short. Out in the wishbone. Fakes the give, fakes two gives. Doyle's rolling out, throws, misses his man. We've got a flag on the field, though. That pass was intended for number 16, Zion Carroll. And we'll see what this flag call is going to be. That's going to be against Keene. Oh, it's a roughing the passer call. Oh, that is a big mistake by the Blackbirds. They're in a situation where they could have pinned him back for a 4th and 8. Perhaps get the offense off the field. Instead, the crucial penalty gives Monadnock another first down and gets them deeper into Keene territory. They're at about the 30, maybe the 29-yard line on Keene's side of the field. After that roughing the passer call, Doyle missed the throw to Carroll, but gets a nice break on that roughing the passer. Monadnock comes out in the wishbone. The snap given to Jocelyn. He runs to his left, gets wrapped up. That's Keene's number 10. That is Jared Rokes. Came up with a big tackle there for no gain. Jocelyn started this drive off with a pretty big run right up the middle, bouncing off one guy and dragging another to a first down run. And he had a 4-yard run as they plowed their way to another first down, but since then, Jocelyn and Hart have been stuffed up the past 3 running plays. Monadnock comes out in the wishbone. Snap, give to Jocelyn. He barrels through, forces away for a few yards, maybe a 3 or 4 yard gain. He got first contacted around the line of scrimmage, maybe a little behind, but he shook off a couple of tacklers and barreled his way through for some hard-fought yards. Got about 2 on the play. So once again, we've got 3rd and 8. Keene has been doing a good job sealing off the running attack the past 4 plays. And now they're not coming out in the wishbone. We've got 1 back behind them. Doyle under center. Hart goes in motion, and oh, I think we've got a flag. This might be false start or illegal motion. It is. That's a false start on the offense. And that'll drive them 5 yards back for an even tougher 3rd and 13 to go. Penalties proving tough on both sides. Of course, Keene committed a tough roughing the passer penalty that gave Monadnock its most recent first down when they had pinned them back for what would have been 4th down and 8. But now we've got 3rd and 13. They come out in the same formation. Doyle under center. Aiden Hart goes in motion. And Doyle's going to roll out to his right, looking for a throw. He unloads it and misses Carroll again. That went off the hands of Carroll. Hard to say whether or not he was out of bounds to begin with. That was a tough throw towards the sideline. Either way, incomplete. 4th and 13, and Monadnock's kind of in no man's land right now on the Keene 32-yard line. That's a very long for a high school field goal. You don't gain much from a punt unless your punter is skilled enough to drop it well inside their own zone. But Monadnock's going to go for it in this situation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Doyle drops back, throws. Does he have his man? Oh, just through the fingertips. He had just overthrown him. That was tough. He was looking for Jocelyn, and if Jocelyn manages to wrap that one up, he might have had a touchdown. But instead, it'll be a turnover on downs. So Keene will take over in their own territory at their 32-yard line. Monadnock had a nice push down the field, gaining 3 first downs, and got well into Keene territory, but ultimately hit kind of a wall. So now Keene takes over. They come out in the wishbone. Tanner Payne under center. He takes the snap. The give, run up the middle, and wrapped up after a short gain. I think that was Christian Oxendine. So Oxendine with the give on that one. He got the handoff, ran to his right, cut back up the middle, and got a gain of 4 yards. So up to the Keene 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Keene now with just one back behind the quarterback. Tanner Payne under center. French goes in motion, but they give to the fullback. He powers up the middle, and that might be a first down. That is number 10, Jared Rokes. Nice bit of misdirection there for Keene as they got a hole up the middle with the fake on an end around to French. French came out from what was almost a tight end position, moved to the backfield, and ultimately provided a diversion as if he was going for an end around, as they just gave it to Rokes, who powered up the middle and converted the first down. Keene now coming out in shotgun, 2 receivers on each side of the quarterback, 1 back behind Payne. Payne takes it, fakes the give, tries to go by himself, and he gets wrapped up and goes nowhere. Good tackle there by the Monadnock defense. I think that was number 52, Victor Latito, who wrapped him up. A few players in there to make sure he had nowhere to go. I think it was Latito who ultimately grabbed him first. So it'll be 2nd down and 11 yards to go. So technically speaking, that goes down as a sack for the Monadnock defense. Keene still in the huddle. And this time they go back to the wishbone. Payne under center. Payne takes the snap, gives to Jonas French. He bounces off 1 tackle, tries to find a route to his left, but instead runs into Aiden Hart, who makes a nice tackle. Hart had been coming around the edge, and so if French had kept going up the middle, he would have gone right past him, but he bounced off of a wall of Monadnock defenders and tried to break out to his left, and Hart had come back into the play and made a nice tackle. So 1 yard gain on the play puts Keene at 3rd and 10 on their own 43-yard line. Keene comes out with 1 back behind. Oxendine goes in motion. Payne takes a snap, tries to roll out to his right, and goes nowhere, but we've got a flag. Tackle was made by number 9, Hayden Haddock. But this is a crucial foul call. We'll see what it is. Holding on the offense. The question is, in this scenario, are you happy with where they are on 4th down, or do you want to push them back? And the penalty is declined by Monadnock coach Ryan Avery, who decides he is going to force Keene to make a decision on 4th down. As both teams huddle up. Is there a timeout? There might have been a timeout on the play, or it might just be after the foul call. There's a bit of a stoppage. So the situation, as Tanner Payne's last run went ultimately nowhere, well wrapped up by Hayden Haddock. It'll be about 4th and 10. Maybe 4th and 9. Keene at their own 43 or 44-yard line. And there it is. Now that I look at the clock, I realize it was the end of the first quarter. That was why everybody stopped. And so it'll be 4th and about 9 yards to go. Keene at their own 44-yard line as we start the second quarter. Game still scoreless. Keene 0, Monadnock 0. Keene coming out in punt formation, it looks like. Yes, they'll be punting this one away. A player goes in motion. Punter takes the snap, boots it, and that one's not going very far. It at least went past the first down marker. But Monadnock will be taking over in their own territory, but with some pretty good field position. After the punt by Taylor Bemis did not travel very far. So Monadnock with some nice field position.
Huskies will start in row
They'll be starting at their
45.
own 45. We're here for that was the first play of the second quarter here at Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. As Monadnock now takes over at their own 45, they start in the wishbone. Doyle takes the snap, gives to Hart. Hart's got some room. Almost shakes off a tackle, but Jonas French held on for dear life to manage to drag him down. That could have been daylight for Hart if French didn't wrap him up, as he found a nice hole to his right, and he broke through it. So he gets a gain of about 5. Monadnock now at midfield, and they're facing a 2nd and 5 scenario. Monadnock comes back out in the wishbone. Nate Doyle under center, Hayden Haddock the fullback, Justin Jocelyn and Aiden Hart the running backs. Snap, the give to Hart once again. He barrels up the middle and pushes his way for about a 3-yard gain, I believe. They are now facing 3rd and about 2-yard lines to go, as they are now in Keene territory at the Keene 47-yard line. Monadnock pushing their way through, old school style like they like. They come out in a slight off formation. The give, and he gets wrapped up immediately. First man there. First guy there was number 58 for Keene. That is Ethan Russell. And then his friends showed up and helped to pin him. That was Aiden Hart who took the handoff and got nowhere, got pushed back for a 2-yard loss. So 4th and 4 at the Keene 49-yard line, and it looks like Monadnock is going to come out and punt. So Keene lining themselves up with nobody back deep. The snap is flubbed a little bit, but the punter gets it away. A line drive kick, and it is not grabbed by Oxendine, who wasn't sure where to position himself. Instead, it'll be downed by Haddock. So nice punt there by Monadnock, as they pin Keene inside their own 20, inside their own 15, in fact. Keene seemed a bit confused on that play, whether to try and look out for some trickery, maybe Monadnock would fake it and go for it, or whether they would actually punt it. Christian Oxendine seemed to be getting conflicting orders there, whether to come up and play defense or go back deep and be the return man. And ultimately, he just let the punt go. So Keene takes over at their own 12. They come out in the wishbone. Tanner Payne under center. The handoff to Oxendine, and he gets rushed by about 3 different Monadnock players as soon as he got it. Among the tacklers, Dylan Cashman, as well as I think number 53 for Monadnock. And it's a loss of 3 after a group tackle of about 3 different guys. So 2nd and 13 at the Keene 9-yard line. Keene comes back out in the wishbone. Waiting for the snap. Payne takes a snap, give to French. He finds an opening, spins away. He's got some daylight, and he's dragged down from behind. Justin Jocelyn with a big tackle from behind to stop Jonas French, who found a nice hole to burst through, spun away from one tackler, and was starting to take off. He was going to try and find some daylight down the near sideline, but Jocelyn just managed to wrap him up from behind, setting Keene up for a 3rd and short situation. 3rd and about 1 at the Keene 21-yard line. Keene comes back out in the wishbone after that big run by Jonas French. Payne takes the snap, and I think he's taking it himself. He tries to barrel ahead. Where are they going to spot it? That's a tough one. A number of Monadnock players, including their own quarterback, Nate Doyle, were in on the tackle there. They're going to mark him short The measuring crew is coming out now. They bring out the chain gang to see, did they make it?
It looks like standing up there.
And they give it to him just barely. The tip of the football crosses, and Keene gets the first down on the quarterback sneak by Tanner Payne.
Not as bad, but...
So Keene will now be facing 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. Game still scoreless here in Swansea, New Hampshire. We have 7:54 and counting down left in the second quarter. Keene comes out in the wishbone. Payne takes the snap. The give to Oxendine. Oxendine found a small hole up the middle and burst through for a gain of about 4 or 5. So it'll be 2nd and about 6 to go for Keene as they are at their own 26-yard line. Keene coming out once again in the wishbone. Payne under center. French and Oxendine the running backs. Snap and the give to French. He tries to find a hole up the middle. Not much of a hole there, and Monadnock able to take him down after a short gain, maybe 1 or 2 yards. Hayden Haddock coming through with the tackle. And we've got a timeout from Keene. So Keene Blackbirds take a timeout as they get ready to face a 3rd and 5 at their own 27-yard line with 6:58 left in the second quarter of this scoreless cross-county rival matchup. The current score, the Keene High Blackbirds 0, the Monadnock Huskies 0. Both teams have been pushing and shoving their way up and down the field, but no one has managed to even get into the red zone as of yet. Just shows what can happen sometimes when two like-minded teams come together. Of course, Keene, the higher division team, a Division I team, while Monadnock is Division III. But Monadnock, the team with the more recent success, as they got a state championship 2 years ago and a playoff run last year, whereas Keene, over the past few years, has been struggling to try and get even multiple wins in a season. So both teams seem evenly matched thus far, as Keene now comes out of the timeout, ready to face this 3rd and 5 situation at their own 27-yard line. Keene lines up in the wishbone. Payne ready to take the snap. He takes the snap, the give to Jonas French. French breaks away from one tackler and gets wrapped up by Nate Doyle. That might be a first down, or it might be one short. And that was not Jonas French. That was Keene's number 27, Will Bendel. So Keene showing a different look for their backfield this time, as Bendel gets the big first down conversion.
Their fullback is getting on.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Keene at their own 33-yard line, as they now come up with 2 big first down conversions after getting pinned inside their own 15 by a nice punt from Monadnock. And now they line up in the wishbone once again. Takes a snap. He's rolling out, looking for a throw. He connects with French for a short gain. Ball came out, but they're saying he was down. French was wrapped up by Nate Doyle on the tackle. Payne tried to fake the handoff and roll out to his right. Not a lot of time, though, as the Monadnock pass rush was bearing down on him. He got a quick pass off on a short out route by the running back Jonas French, who got about a 1-yard gain. So 2nd and 9 at the 34-yard line. And Keene moves out of the wishbone and now goes into shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of Payne, 1 back behind him. Payne takes a snap, gives to the running back, and he gets tackled immediately. That was number 10, Jared Rokes, who got the carry. They sent the fullback behind the quarterback as they moved out of the wishbone and sent 2 receivers on either side. Still went with a running play, and it went nowhere. Well wrapped up by the Monadnock defense. It'll be 3rd and 9, still at the Keene 34-yard line. Clock reads just over 5 minutes left in the half. Game still scoreless. We've got shotgun again. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 back behind Tanner Payne. Payne takes the snap, rolls out to his left. Oh, he's got trouble. He's being chased. He's being dragged down. That's a sack. Big penetration by Monadnock's number 56, Dominic Raymond. The freshman coming through like a bat out of heck. He chases down the quarterback, doesn't let him get anywhere, and comes up with a huge, huge 3rd down sack. So it'll be 4th and 14 with 4 minutes, 20 seconds left, and Keene well pinned within their own area. They're going to go to the punt.
Coach, if it matters, their guards are 6 inches.
So
And their tackles are about
Taylor Bemis lining up to punt. His first one didn't travel very far. He takes the snap, boots this one. This one's going to travel. And Justin Jocelyn has no chance to return it as it's punted out of bounds. Much better punt by Taylor Bemis that time.
Flag on the field.
But we've got a flag. We'll see what this call is. This could affect whether or not we get a redo on the punt, whether the field position changes. I mean, after a nice line drive punt like that, if this fouls against Keene, if you're the Monadnock coach, you're definitely accepting this penalty. And most times on a punt play, the penalty is going to be against the... It's an illegal formation penalty on Keene. Illegal motion, pardon me. An illegal motion penalty, so yeah, they're going to redo the punt. Smart decision to accept the penalty by Monadnock coach Ryan Avery. It was a nice punt, and now they have to try and make a nice punt again, this time from further back. So Keene pushed back to their own 24-yard line as Bemis lines up to punt again. Jocelyn once again back deep. Bemis takes the snap. It's a high snap, but he corrals it. Punts. Another nice punt, but this one's going to stay inbounds. It's grabbed by Jocelyn. He almost gets around one guy, but his foot went out of bounds. He was thinking a bigger return on that one, but the gunner just managed to wrap him up enough to force him to step on the line. And so Monadnock will take over in their own territory at about the 37-yard line. 3:47 left in the second quarter of what is so far a scoreless game. Both teams just looking for that one big play that can really get things going for them. They both had some solid runs here and there, but nothing has quite broken this game open. Monadnock coming out with one back behind Nate Doyle and 2 guys next to the line, and we got a man in motion. And Doyle decides to fake it. Now he pitches it. This is to Aiden Hart, and he gets wrapped up.
Aiden Hart on the carry.
Aiden Hart gets wrapped up by Christian Oxendine for a short, maybe no gain at all. Indeed, it was no gain, as Doyle faked the handoff to the fullback as Hart was going in motion. Doyle started to run himself, then decided to pitch out to Hart. Nice idea, but well covered by the Keene run defense. So it'll be 2nd and 10 as Monadnock remains at their own 37-yard line. They come out, they've got 1 receiver out wide on each side, 1 back behind Doyle, same formation they had last play, as they've got 1 back each in a tight end-like position. Jocelyn goes in motion, and they toss out to him after the snap, and he gets tripped up in the backfield. Well tackled on the diving reach there. by, I believe that was Keene's number 59. I think that was Bemis again. Either that or it was 58 Ethan Russell. In fact, I believe it was 59. I believe it was Bemis who came up with the tackle on that one. So it'll be a 3rd and long situation. Monadnock once again comes out in the same formation. Jocelyn in motion. Doyle fakes the handoff, throws out to Carroll, hits Carroll. Carroll's got right. He's going 40, 35, 30. There's nobody to beat. Carroll is going to go all the way. Touchdown, Huskies. Zion Carroll on a quick slant route, and he had enough space to spin around his man, and after that, there was nobody who was ever going to stop him. He had complete daylight, ran down the near side. Easy score. Zion Carroll with a huge 60-plus yard touchdown grab. Nate Doyle on the pass. And the Huskies strike first and take a 6-0 lead over the Blackbirds. Monadnock going for the 2-point conversion. And finally they go back to their wishbone formation. Doyle takes the snap, gives to Hart. Hart barrels ahead. I don't think he's going to make it. He does not make it. Well wrapped up by the Keene run defense on that one. And so after all that from two very run-heavy offenses, it is a passing touchdown that gets the first points on the board. The score, Monadnock 6, Keene 0. 2:07 left in the half. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'll take a very short mute break, and I'll be back with the ensuing kickoff. Stay tuned. Hello, and welcome back to Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and we are back with this cross-county matchup between the hosting Monadnock Huskies and the visiting Keene Blackbirds. The Huskies just took a 6-0 lead on a long catch and run by Zion Carroll for the touchdown, and now they're lining up for the kickoff. They squib it. It gets past one guy. It's being chased down by Will Bendel, and he decides to fall on it. So a nice squib kick by Monadnock skipped past at least one guy, and Bendel was having trouble wrapping it up for the Blackbirds, and so he just decides to fall on it, play it safe, and Keene will take over at what appears to be their own 24-yard line. Score, Monadnock 6, Keene 0. As Keene comes out in the wishbone, Tanner Payne under center. Payne takes the snap. He gives, they run to the right, and wrapped up after a short gain. And that was Christian Oxendine on the carry. Gain of about 1 yard. Both teams have been playing very run-happy games thus far, and it's been a war in the trenches so far, nobody getting some clear headroom. But ultimately, Monadnock came up with the big clutch play on a pass of all things, as Keene comes back out in the wishbone on 2nd and 9. Payne takes a snap, he dropped it! Botched the snap, and he just has to fall on it. Keene maintains possession, but what a blunder on the play there. I believe that's going to lose them a couple of yards. Yep, that's going to lose them the yard they gained on first down, so it'll be 3rd and 10 as we got a quick timeout on the field with 1:24 left to play. So Keene's offense trying to get things moving. Their first drive started in Monadnock territory, and since then they've been pinned in their own end the entire game. They're hoping to get something going here. Late in the first half, 1:24 to go, 3rd and 10 the situation. They're on their own 24-yard line. They're going to need something big if they're going to get something going before halftime. Keene comes out of the timeout. They come out in the wishbone. Payne under center once again. Takes the snap. And there's the give, and the running back goes nowhere. Might have even been tackled for a loss. Nice group tackle by Monadnock's Dylan Cashman. And number 5, Carson Shanks. 2 of the guys in on the tackle there as they tackle them for no gain. And so Taylor Bemis will once again come out to punt for the Blackbirds as Justin Jocelyn goes back deep as the return man for the Huskies. Snap back to Bemis. He punts it, almost got blocked there, and it's not going to travel very far, although it gets a favorable bounce and rolls to about the Keene 47-yard line. So Monadnock will take over in opposing territory with about 34 seconds left to play. So not a lot of time. But of course, Keene can't rest. They're already trailing in this game. They have to make sure Monadnock doesn't get any extra points before halftime. We'll see what Monadnock decides to do. Like I said, a very run-heavy offense, both teams, but it was a pass play by Monadnock that ultimately got them on the board. We'll see what they decide to do with 34 seconds left. And the ball at Keene's 47-yard line. They're coming out in shotgun. They got 2 receivers and 1 tight end to the right, 1 tight end to the left, 1 running back to the left side of Doyle. He takes a snap. He pulls back, unloads, looking for Carroll. He's got it, and he's got daylight, and he's got the touchdown. Zion Carroll with his 2nd touchdown of the day. What a beautiful floater pass from Nate Doyle. 1 play was all they needed to go 47 yards. Great route running by Zion Carroll as he got behind the Keene secondary. And that was an absolute dime of a throw by Nate Doyle. He dropped it right in his arms, in stride, and he could just dance his way to the end zone there. 12-0 as Monadnock comes out for the 2-point conversion. They're in the wishbone. Doyle takes a snap, gives to Hart. He's got a hole. He's pushing through. Is he in? He's in! Aiden Hart manages to shake 1 tackle and push his way through a couple of other players to break the plane and get the 2-point conversion. Monadnock finding its groove in the passing game. If you had asked me how many rushing touchdowns versus passing touchdowns Monadnock was going to get before this game started, I would have guessed probably all rushing touchdowns. But here we are, and Nate Doyle and Zion Carroll with 2 very big plays that got Monadnock on the board and now give them a handy 14-0 lead over the visiting Keene High Blackbirds with just 27 seconds left to go in the half after a very efficient 7-second 1-play drive by the Huskies. So now they get ready to kick off. Nate Doyle getting ready to kick off after throwing his 2nd touchdown of the day. And they squib it once again. It goes to the right. It bounces over the head of 1 Keene player, skips away from another, but he picks it up and starts to run. This is Will Bendell, and he's breaking out to the near sideline. He's got some room. He's got a man to beat, and he gets dragged down by the kicker, Nate Doyle. A nice return by number 27, Will Bendell of the Blackbirds. After he almost missed it, it bounced over the head of Keene's number 34, Jacob Russell, and then skipped past Bendell, but he was able to turn around, grab it from behind, and then just take off out to his left, break out to his left even more, and he found some daylight, getting the Blackbirds to their own 43-yard line to start what might be the last drive of the half. I don't want to presume. I thought the last drive was going to be the last drive of the half, and then it only lasted 7 seconds. So Keene shows wishbone and then breaks out into a different formation. They've now got 2 receivers and 1 tight end on the left, 1 receiver out to the right, and they motion another receiver out to the right. So 2 receivers on each side and 1 back behind Tanner Payne, who's in shotgun. He takes the snap, drops back, rolls to his right, looking for a throw, tries to float one over to his running back, Jared Rokes. It goes over his head. Victor Latito was in coverage there That probably wasn't going very far, even if he did manage to drop it in his lap. And so it'll be 2nd and 10. Blackbirds still at their own 43-yard line. They trail Monadnock 14-0, courtesy of one 60-plus yard touchdown and one 47-yard touchdown, both on passes from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. As Keene comes back out, they've got 2 ends on each side and 1 back behind the quarterback. Oxendine goes in motion, but they give to the fullback, Rokes. He pounds ahead for a short gain. And we've got a timeout, I believe, called by Keene, I think. As it'll be 3rd down and about 7 with 9 seconds left in the half. So at this point, you've got to be thinking Hail Mary. Obviously, the last pass play didn't work out so well for the Blackbirds, and they haven't been able to connect on too many passes. I think they've had 1 completion go for about 1 yard, while Monadnock has only connected on 2 passes thus far, but both passes have gone for touchdowns. I mean, you can't argue with that kind of a percentage. So it'll be 3rd and about 7. Keene at their own 46-yard line. Monadnock Huskies leading their senior night game 14-0 on the back of a pair of touchdowns thrown from one senior to another, Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. Blackbirds come back out there in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side. 1 back behind Tanner Payne, who's in shotgun. He takes the snap, drops back, looks, uncorks a throw, looking for his man. Does he have it? Oh, it goes through the hands. Jonas French was breaking away from his man. The throw was just a bit far. He probably would have fallen down even if he made the grab, but it went through his hands on a catch that would have put him at about the Monadnock 20-yard line. That's a tough pass to miss. You know that Keene wants that one back. So it'll be 4th down and 7 to go with just 3 seconds left in the half. So at this point, if you're Keene, I imagine you just got to go Hail Mary, just make sure the play lasts at least 3 seconds, and look end zone. And indeed, Keene comes out in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of quarterback Tanner Payne with 1 back behind him. Payne takes the snap, drops back to throw. Throws one out, hits Oxendine. Oxendine, couldn't break the tackle. A great first half ending tackle by Nate Doyle. He's been everywhere, but he's down on the play. He's down on his knees. Oh, this could be tough as we end the first half with Monadnock leading Keene 14-0. Nate Doyle, the quarterback, linebacker, and kicker for Monadnock, is down on his knees with his face in the dirt. The trainer and coach now taking a look at him. We certainly hope he is okay. He's now getting up slowly and a bit gingerly, but he is walking off on his own strength. He appeared to be holding his ribs for a second, but I don't want to presume what this might be. He's now jogging, seems to be jogging full speed, so hopefully that was just a painful, sort of awkward wrap-up as he made the last tackle of the half, taking down Christian Oxendine. We have reached halftime, and the score, the hosting Monadnock Huskies 14, the visiting Keene High Blackbirds 0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live at Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire, and I'll be back with the second half of play after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and I'm happy to get back to the action and bring you the second half of this cross-county football matchup between the hosting Monadnock Huskies and the visiting Keene High Blackbirds. The current score is Monadnock 14, Keene 0. as Monadnock managed to break through on a couple of big pass plays between two seniors, quarterback Nate Doyle and receiver Zion Carroll. One went for about 60 yards and one went for 47 yards. The second one coming with just 34 seconds left in the half. So two really big plays have been the deciding factor so far in this game. Big surprise that it was passing that got us the points, as these two teams are very run-heavy offenses. And indeed, a vast majority of the plays through the first half were run plays. But it wasn't the run plays that ultimately got results. So an interesting game to be sure. And as I see the number of people listening in, I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be covering some Friday Night Football. As we get ready for the second half, if any of you want to send any messages, any shout-outs to some of your favorite seniors from either school, shout-outs to some of your favorite players, you want to give a comment on how the game's going, or even a comment about how good or bad I'm doing, feel free to send your message in the chat. So long as you've got an account, that should work just fine. So let me know what you're thinking. If you've got any messages to say, I'd love to hear them and spread them out on my broadcast. But in the meantime, the two teams are lining up. We got just a few seconds left before we get set. Monadnock got the first half opening kickoff, so it'll be the Keene Blackbirds who start with the ball. And we'll see what they're able to do. They managed to get off a nice pass play at the end of the game as quarterback Tanner Payne hit running back Christian Oxendine across the middle. And he had one tackler to shake off and then about one more man to beat if he managed to shake him off. But Nate Doyle, who has done a fantastic job at both quarterback and linebacker and even kicker, as he lines up for this kick, he was able to wrap up Oxendine. He looked a little shaken up at the end of the play, which could have been concerning, but he was able to jog off the field on his own power, and now he's lining up for the opening kick. So we'll be getting ready to get the second half underway as Nate Doyle looks okay. Nate Doyle will be kicking off. Will Bendell, number 27, has been the guy playing deep on most of these kickoffs for Keene. First one he just had to fall on. The second one he had a nice return, and Doyle sends this a line drive up the middle, and it's bobbled by the return man. Almost didn't pick it up. He had to fall on it. Bendell had to fall on it again the second time out of 3 kickoffs. Something about the weird bounce and spins on Nate Doyle's squib kicks has been throwing off return man Will Bendell all game, but he manages to fall on it and not lose possession at least, as the Monadnock coverage team was coming fast, hoping to pick up a quick turnover. Instead, Keene will be starting at its own 30-yard line. They come out in the wishbone. Tanner Payne under center. He takes the snap. The give. That's Christian Oxendine. He's being wrapped up, and he's not going anywhere. A nice tackle by another senior, Justin Joslin. And he gets tackled for a loss. Joslin, of course, not just one of the primary running backs on this team, but also an all-state caliber linebacker. That's the thing about the smaller schools at the lower divisions. You got guys playing both ways. Almost your entire roster's playing both ways. And so Keene comes back out in the wishbone, 2nd and 11. Payne takes the snap, gives to Jonas French. He tries to shake out of one tackle. He does, but gets dragged down by the second guy who grabbed him from behind. I think that might have been... Looks like that was... I think either number 56 Dominic Raymond or number 68 Jack Lorenz, one of the two, gets the tackle after a short gain as French did a nice job shaking off a tackle and getting about a 4-yard gain. So 3rd down and 7 is the situation. Keene comes back out in the wishbone for a 3rd straight play. Payne under center, takes the snap, Here's the give to Oxendine. He shakes off one tackle, almost shakes off another, but the stubbornness of a few different Monadnock players, including Nate Doyle, Carson Shanks, and Hayden Haddock. They held on for dear life as Oxendine was starting to break some tackles there. Oxendine, one of the more sizable players out on the field, aside from the linemen, of course. But it'll be now 4th down after the big stop by the Monadnock defense, and they are getting ready to punt. Taylor Bemis, he's had a couple good punts and at least one bad one. Takes the snap, drops it, boots it. This one looks like it went off the side of his foot. It's not traveling very far, and it goes out of bounds. So the punt travels maybe a little over 20 yards. And so Monadnock will be taking over in their own territory at around the 45-yard line. Now, I'm not sure if that punt even traveled 20 yards. That's the tough thing about high school punters. Not as consistent as some of the higher levels. And a lot of times your punter is someone whose primary position is something else, like linebacker or receiver or something. So Monadnock takes over. They come out in the wishbone themselves. Nate Doyle takes the snap. Gives to Aiden Hart. He tries to find room, but can't find anything. That one's going to go for no gain. So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. Remains at the 45-yard line. Like I said, both teams' running games, despite being primary run offenses, they haven't been able to find much room to run. As Monadnock comes out in the wishbone once again on 2nd and 10. Doyle takes the snap, fakes the give again. Oh, wait, they faked me out completely! This is Hayden Haddock. He's got room to run. He goes all the way down inside the 15. Well, put a dunce hat on me and call me a fool. That was a great fake out. For a second, I thought he was giving it, that Doyle was giving it to Jocelyn. Then I thought maybe Doyle was taking it himself. And then all of a sudden, I look to my left, and there's the fullback, Hayden Haddock, streaking down the field. He only had one man to beat. He had maybe a half step on him. And heads-up play by the Keene defender to take him down. Monadnock finally got the big run it was looking for. They're now down to the 12. They come out in the wishbone. They give to Aiden Hart, and he gets wrapped up at around the line of scrimmage once again. I tell you, sometimes the big plays come from the most unlikely sources. Monadnock, a team that likes to go to its 2 different running backs for most of its plays usually, and yet the big plays have been coming from their wide receiver, Zion Carroll, and now a huge run by their fullback, Hayden Haddock. So Keene now facing 2nd and 10 at the 12. And Doyle takes it himself, and he barrels up the middle. Oh, the ball came out. Are they going to say he was down, or are they going to say it was a fumble?
Oh, come on.
Oh, they're saying he fumbled it. Oh, he fumbled it, and it was recovered by Keene. Oh, that is a tough loss for Monadnock, their 2nd lost fumble of the day. First one lost by Aiden Hart on their opening drive, and this one lost by Nate Doyle in the red zone. The first trip of either team into the red zone, and it ends in a fumble on the next play. Or 2 plays later, I should say. So Keene takes over after another clutch forced turnover. They take over at their own 8-yard line, though. So they're pinned back deep as they come out in the wishbone. Tanner Payne takes the snap. The give to, I think, Jonas French. He tries to pile through. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. May have gotten a 1 or 2 yard gain. Gain of about 2 on the play. And that was Jonas French on the carry. He got hit behind the line, but managed to shake it off and barrel through for a short gain, a hard-fought 2 yards. 2nd and 8 at the 10-yard line. Keene comes out in the wishbone again. Oh, and oh, for a second I thought somebody jumped, but no, Monadnock was just shifting some of their defensive guys to a different spot on the line. Snap taken by Payne. He hands off to Oxendine, who gets wrapped up immediately. Huge tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Justin Jocelyn once again with some help from Victor Latito. Huge tackle behind the line. When those Monadnock defenders break through, they'll pounce on you. They don't call them Huskies for nothing, you know? So a loss on that play, and now it is 3rd and 11 after a loss of 3 on the attempted handoff to Oxendine. Now in shotgun is Payne. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, 1 back behind him. He fakes the handoff, drops back to throw, hits his man with a pass out to the left. Is that going to go for a first? That was going to be close. That was Jonas French, I believe, on the catch there on a slight out route out to the far sideline, and they're going to give him the first down. So again, a big passing play from one of the run-heavy teams is what ultimately gets the ball moving. And Keene has decided to come out in shotgun once again. 2 receivers to the left, a couple of halfbacks next to the tackles. Payne takes the snap, he rolls to his right, throws over the head of his receiver. Pass was intended for Keene's number 8, Eric Norman, but Payne threw it over his head, out of the reach of his outstretched hands. Nothing doing there. And so it'll be 2nd and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. So Keene now coming out in the I formation this time. 1 fullback, 1 running back behind Payne under center. Payne takes a snap, drops back, looks to throw, floats one up, and it's caught! And this guy's got daylight! He's got room to run, he's being chased down by a defender, and gets forced out of bounds by Nate Doyle. That was, I believe, Keene's number 26, Marcus Rokes, who had the big fumble recovery on defense in the first quarter. A nice floated pass from Tanner Payne, who felt the rush coming at all sides. He managed to get rid of it, and the short floater pass turned into a lot of yards after the catch. Keene now into Monadnock territory for the first time since their opening drive. First down on the Monadnock 41. The give to Jonas French. He shakes a couple of tackles and forces his way through for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. So 2 big passing plays have gotten Keene to move the ball pretty well. 1 to Jonas French and 1 to Marcus Rokes. Keene now at the Monadnock 38-yard line is what it seems. And they come out in the wishbone this time. Payne under center. Takes the snap. Gives to French. French breaks to the outside. Breaks 1 tackle. Cannot break a second one. And I think that was Nate Doyle on the tackle. Once again, it was. Nate Doyle, he's gotten a firm grip on a number of ball carriers. When they start shedding tackles, it gets dangerous. But Nate Doyle, who has also thrown for 2 touchdowns on the offense, has done an admirable job on defense. Of course, he had the tough fumble on the most recent possession. But that stop forces Keene to face 3rd down and 1 yard to go at the Monadnock 32-yard line. Keene coming out in the wishbone. 1 short yard to gain for the first down. Payne was trying to get someone to jump. Somebody jumped. We'll see which side it was. False start on the offense. Oh, man. Tanner Payne was trying to draw him off sides, and instead either he moved too much or one of his linemen moved too much. And 3rd and 1 becomes 3rd and 6. That one hurts. That one definitely hurts. So it'll be 3rd and 6 now. Keene is huddled up as they face 3rd down and 6 at Monadnock's 37-yard line. Keene comes out in the wishbone once again. Payne takes a snap, gives to French. French tries to barrel through. He can't get anywhere. Wrapped up very well by a couple of Monadnock defenders. So some nice defense by Monadnock on the back of a lucky penalty, and now it is 4th down and still 6 yards to go, still at the 37. 3 minutes, 10 seconds, and the clock running here in the 3rd quarter of play. Once again, Monadnock leads Keene 14-0. And Keene is going to be going for it in a bit of no man's land situation here. 2 receivers on either side of Tanner Payne, who is in shotgun with 1 back behind him. He takes a snap, drops back to pass. The rush was coming, and he had to hurry that throw and just overthrew his man. He was looking for Will Bendel and threw it too far ahead of him. He had to get rid of that one fast because the Monadnock pass rush was coming after him. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Big defensive stop for Monadnock. Keene was starting to find some momentum after a couple of big passes to Jonas French and Marcus Rokes. But then they hit a wall thanks to a tough penalty and a couple of nice defensive plays by the Monadnock defense. That tackle by Nate Doyle that stopped him 1 yard short of the first now seems so much bigger as he now comes out under center with his team in the wishbone. 1st and 10 at their own 37. Takes a snap, give to Aiden Hart. He runs out and barrels his way ahead for maybe 5 or 6 yards. He got hit about 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage and then carried 1 or 2 defenders for a few extra yards. That's the thing we've seen from a few of these backs on both sides today is if they manage to get a hole and they manage to get a burst of speed, they'll carry a guy or 2. And that now comes out in the wishbone once again, 2nd and 5 at the 42. Doyle takes a snap, gives to Hart once again, and this time he's smushed behind the line and the ball came out. But they're going to say he was down. So a nice tackle by Keene's number 58, Ethan Russell. He broke his way through and smushed him on that one for no gain. So it'll be 3rd and 5. Monadnock comes out in the wishbone once again. Doyle takes a snap, gives to Jocelyn. Jocelyn cuts ahead, barrels through a couple of guys, and that's going to be a 1st down. Jocelyn found his hole. He cut back up the middle, got that burst of speed that these running backs are always looking for, and he was able to barrel over a defender and fall past the 1st down marker as he gets his team to midfield. 1st and 10. Justin Jocelyn has had a couple nice runs so far today and has had some nice tackles behind the line of scrimmage as a linebacker, but still looking for the big one that can get him to the end zone. Monadnock comes out in the wishbone again. Doyle gives to Haddock, the fullback. He finds a hole and barrels ahead for a gain of about 4. Haddock, of course, had the big run on the previous possession on a nice fake-out play that even got me looking foolish. As I didn't realize until he was all the way past the opposing 20-yard line where he was. But for now, after Haddock's most recent run went for 4 yards, it is 2nd and 6, and we got less than 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter of play. Monadnock running down the clock with their running game as they lead Keene 14-0. Come out in the eye, and they give to Jocelyn again. He ran to his left, but ran into a bit of a wall. Gain of maybe 1 yard line. Gain of maybe 1 yard. And so it'll be 3rd and about 5 or 6 as the last seconds tick away on the 3rd quarter as teams get ready to switch sides. So after 3 quarters of play, the score remains Monadnock 14, Keene 0. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live at Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. I'll be back after a short mute break. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here to bring you the 4th and final quarter of play of this cross-county matchup between the hosting Monadnock Huskies and the visiting Keene High Blackbirds. We return to the gridiron as Monadnock faces 3rd and 5 at the Keene 45-yard line. Monadnock comes out in the flex bone, and Hart goes in motion, and he gets the toss. He runs to his right, trying to find room. I think he's going to get it. I think he may have got it. He gets dragged down by number 26, Marcus Rokes of Keene. Depends on where they marked him down. I think they're going to give it to him. And they give it to him. They gave him the first down. Nice run by Aiden Hart. Nice big conversion for the Huskies as they now get a fresh set of downs at the Keene 39-yard line. That means 2 things. That means they march closer to their 3rd score of the game, potentially, and they also get to run off the clock. They come out in the flex bone again. This time it's Jocelyn in motion. They fake the toss to Jocelyn. They give to Haddock. Hayden Haddock, the fullback, goes up the middle, but only gets about 1 yard. Now it'll be about 2nd and 9 at the Keene 38-yard line. Monadnock knows if they just keep pounding the football and running it, they can run out this clock because we've got less than 11 minutes left in this ball game. And Monadnock holding a 2-score lead. They're in the flex bone once again for 2nd and 9. Jocelyn in motion once again. They fake this time. Doyle takes it himself, decides to cut inside and barrel ahead for maybe 3 or 4. Doyle's had a couple of nice runs today. A couple of solid, 3-4 yard gains. Of course, he had the fumble on the previous possession inside the red zone. Tough loss for Monadnock because they could have gotten themselves up to a 3-score lead. But now they face 3rd down and 6 after a 3-yard run by Doyle. And they come out in the flex bone once again. Jocelyn to the right, Hart to the left. But Doyle's dropping back to pass. He unloads a pass, and that's way too far for anybody to grab. The closest player was actually a Keene player, Christian Oxendine, as Doyle overthrew his man. Of course, Doyle has completed 2 very big passes today. Both of his 2 completions going to Zion Carroll for touchdowns. One for about 60 yards and one for 47 yards. The second one coming with 34 seconds left in the half. And that turned into a 1-play, 7-second drive that got what is currently the most recent score of the game. So Monadnock going to go for it. They come out in the flex bone again. Hart in motion. But Doyle drops back to pass. He's got a rusher coming for him. He throws. They say incomplete. They say it bounced before it could hit the hands of Justin Jocelyn. And so that'll be a turnover on downs. So Monadnock tried to go for the pass there on those last 2 plays. One overthrow, one just underthrown. And on that last one, the pass rush of Keene definitely played a part. Moving Hart out in motion left fewer potential blockers on that left side. And they were coming on Doyle's blind side, but now Keene taking over. They come out in shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of Tanner Payne, one back behind him, and he gives to that one back, who hits the line and goes nowhere. So that was number 10, Jared Rokes, the fullback, who got the handoff from Payne Despite them coming out in a shotgun formation with 2 receivers on either side, they tried to go for the run, and it did not work at all. 2nd and 10. At about the 35 or 36-yard line on Keene's side of the field. They come out in the wishbone this time. Payne takes the snap. Gives to Oxendine. Oxendine's got some room to run. He found a hole. He's trying to break the tackle, but he cannot break it. He's dragged down once again by Nate Doyle, but not after a big first down run. Christian Oxendine got a nice hole on the right side that time. And he runs it all the way into Monadnock territory. The Blackbirds started their opening drive in Monadnock territory after a fumble, but did not get into Monadnock territory all the rest of the first half. Now 2 straight drives they've gotten into Monadnock territory. They've got 1st and 10 at the Huskies' 48. They come out in the wishbone. They give us again to Oxendine. Oxendine dancing, looking for an opening. He barrels ahead for about 3 or 4 yards. Clock continues ticking. Less than 8:50 left in this ball game, and Monadnock leads by 2 scores, 14-0. But the Keene offense starting to move here late in the game. Their 2nd consecutive drive, getting into Monadnock territory. Keene comes out in the wishbone once again. Payne takes the snap. I think he lost it. I think he lost the snap. But a Keene player managed to fall on it and prevent what could have been disaster for the Blackbirds. That was Rokes, the fullback, who managed to fall on it. Heads-up play there by the fullback after his quarterback kind of flubbed the snap there. It'll be 3rd down, 5 to go. Less than 8 minutes left in the game. Keene comes out in the wishbone once again. Payne takes the snap. Give to, I believe, Jonas French. He's got a hole. He's running to the outside, cuts away from another defender, and he runs for a 1st down. Jonas French with a big run there. He gets taken down by a couple of Monadnock defenders, including Victor Latito. But not before he gets to a 1st down deeper into Monadnock territory. I believe they're now at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10, and Keene comes out in the wishbone once again at the Monadnock 29-yard line. Tanner Payne takes the snap, gives to Oxendine. Oxendine shakes off one tackler, runs to the outside, tries to stiff arm another. We've got a fumble. He fumbled the ball, and it's recovered by Monadnock. What a huge play. I think that was Zion Carroll who was trying to take him down, and maybe he managed to punch the ball out. I'm not sure. But either way, huge recovery for the Huskies as the Blackbirds were starting to drive, get some momentum together. But now instead, Monadnock takes over with the ball. We've now had a few big drives by both teams, and in rough turnovers. And this late in the game, that one's got to hurt for Keene. The Huskies will be taking over deep in their own territory at their own 15-yard line. And they come out in the wishbone. Snap taken by Doyle. He gives to Jocelyn. Jocelyn runs to the left and hits a bit of a wall. That's going to be a short gain, maybe no gain. And he gets about, I think, 1 yard. Indeed, it was a gain of 1 on the play by Jocelyn. So it'll be 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line, as we are now down to 6 minutes, 40 seconds and counting, as the run-heavy offenses of both teams wind this clock down faster and faster. They come out in the flexbone this time. Hart goes in motion. They give to Hart, and he barrels ahead for maybe another 1 yard gain.
Keene 3 on the play.
He actually gained about 3 yards. I underestimated how far he was able to barrel ahead. My mistake. So 3rd and 6 with 6 minutes and counting to go, as Monadnock is at their own 19-yard line. A conversion here could be big for Monadnock as they try and put this game away and try and keep that clock winding down. They line up in the flex bone once again. Haddock behind Doyle. Hart goes in motion from the left side. They fake the toss to him, and instead they give to Jocelyn. Jocelyn's breaking free. Oh, he's close. He's close. He shook off a tackler at the line of scrimmage. And they're going to give it to him. That's the first down. Nice play. Aiden Hart came in motion from the quarterback's left to a spot in the backfield. That's usually a player they go to in that kind of play, either that or to the fullback, Hayden Haddock. But that time, they gave it for the first time, they gave it to the running back that didn't go in motion in the flex bone. What a time to go for a play that hadn't been shown yet tonight to convert a big first down. And so now Monadnock comes out in the wishbone. They are at their own 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Doyle takes the snap. He gives to Haddock. Haddock barrels ahead, and he pushes the pile for a respectable gain. He might have gotten 4 or 5 yards on that. He did get 5 yards. Those occasional fullback runs, they'll catch you off guard when you're looking for the 2 running backs, Justin Jocelyn and Aiden Hart. Every once in a while, they give to the fullback, and he's able to barrel his way ahead. Monadnock comes out in the wishbone once again. Snap taken. They fake the handoff, rolling out to throw. He unloads it. He's going for Carroll again. Almost caught, and that's going to be pass interference. They throw the flag. Jonas French was in coverage. The throw was slightly underthrown, looking for Zion Carroll, and Carroll very smartly came back for the ball. French was not turned around. He was looking at his man, not at the ball. That's going to be a big penalty. Refs conferring.
I think the flag at midfield is a personal foul. On them, he was talking trash to the ref when we did.
Let's see what we've got for the call. Couple fouls on the defense. Pass interference, as we predicted. And then we've got unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense as well. Oh, not smart. I mean, French just had an unfortunate circumstance there that he got beat by his man on coverage and didn't realize the throw was underthrown because he was trailing Zion Carroll. But unsportsmanlike penalty, when you're trying to come back into this game, you can't do that. I mean, no time is the right time for a penalty like that, but especially not right now. And once again, it is Zion Carroll at the center of a huge gain for Monadnock as they go from their own territory all the way to the Keene 37-yard line for a fresh set of downs. They come out in an off-eye formation, and they give to Aiden Hart. He barrels and carries a tackler for a gain of about 2. Monadnock just throwing all kinds of plays that they haven't been using as much today. They go for the fake handoff as one running back went in motion. They gave to the other running back. That got a big first down. They go for a rollout pass, despite being a run-heavy offense, and they get a big pass interference call. And now Monadnock comes out in their traditional wishbone on 2nd and 8. Oh, I think we're going to have a false start. Yep. Guy even knows it. It was actually Zion Carroll that time. He had his head in his hands. He knew he got that penalty. It is indeed false start on the offense. And so that'll set them back from 2nd and 8 to 2nd and 13 at the Keene 40-yard line. Only 3:37 left in this game, as Monadnock has been winding time off of this game. They've just been shaving seconds, shaving whole minutes off as they come back out in the wishbone on 2nd and 13. Doyle takes the snap, gives to Hart. Hart goes straight up the middle and barrels ahead for a gain of about 4.
So much for home field advantage. You saw the clock.
So it'll be 3rd and 9. Again, a big 3rd down situation here. Although given where they are on the field, this could be considered 4-down territory. So it'll be interesting to see what Monadnock decides to go with in this scenario. Monadnock has yet to punt so far today. They come out in the flex bone this time. Jocelyn to the right, Hart to the left, Haddock behind Doyle. Hart goes in motion, and Doyle's going to take it himself. And he barrels up the middle for a gain of maybe 4 or 5. And I think we got a timeout call. Yep, a timeout called by Keene. So with 2:33 left to go, Monadnock will be facing 4th down and 5 to go after a 4-yard keeper by Nate Doyle. They are at the Keene 32-yard line, so I can't imagine them punting in this scenario. This could be a big play. With only 2.5 minutes left, a conversion here could mean the game. Because trying to drive down the field twice and get 2 scores, even if Monadnock goes 3 and out after this conversion, this could all but seal it. So we'll see what this one does. Monadnock offense is coming out onto the field. They're huddling up as the Keene defense now comes out. Keene hoping to make a big stop so they can try and get something started on offense. They've still got the big goose egg on the board as Monadnock leads 14-0. Monadnock comes out there in their traditional wishbone. We'll see who gets the give. Here's the snap. Fakes the give. He drops back to pass. He's unloading. He's looking for Carroll again. Did he get it? Oh my gosh, he got the catch! Zion Carroll with the diving catch in the end zone! Oh my gosh, you want to talk about a gutsy call. 4th down, 5 yards to go at the Keene 32-yard line. A 1st down conversion could potentially give you the game. You are a run-heavy offense, and you decide to fake the handoff and go for a play-action pass. If that pass goes just a few inches further than it did, then that would look like... that's again, they always say, the difference between genius and idiot is a matter of inches. But right now, Ryan Avery and the Monadnock coordinators look like geniuses after that. The score is 20-0. They're going for 2. They come out in the wishbone, they give to Jocelyn, and I think he was just short. He was indeed just short, but have yourselves a game. Nate Doyle and Zion Carroll. 3 completed passes for 3 touchdowns on top of 1 very crucial pass interference draw. Those are 2 seniors that are having themselves quite the senior night game. I'm not wearing a hat right now, but if I was, I'd take it off to the 2 of them. The 3 biggest plays of the game, and that one, I take my non-existent hat off to the coaches and the players for going through with a gutsy call like that. A play-action pass on 4th and 5. Going for the end zone when the defense is looking for you to try and get a 1st down. So now Nate Doyle, after throwing for his 3rd touchdown of the game and giving his team a 20-0 lead, is going for the kickoff. Doyle puts some air under this one, And it's caught, not by the guy far back, but it's being returned to almost midfield this time. So not as much of a squib that time as it is fielded, I think, by Christian Oxendine. And he runs it back to about the Keene 48-yard line. Keene in a tough spot now, trailing 20-0 with just 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in this game. Keene offense will be starting at their own 48-yard line, and they're going to need something big if they're going to have a chance at getting back into this game as they trail by 3 scores. They come out in shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of quarterback Tanner Payne with 1 back behind him. He takes the snap, drops back to throw. He's got some time, unloads down the far sideline, but too far. He was looking for Jonas French on that one and couldn't quite connect with him. Throw was just too far. So it'll be 2nd and 10, still at the 48. And at this point, Keene, despite being a run-heavy offense like Monadnock, they've really got to throw here. You're down 3 scores. You don't have all your timeouts. If you're going to have any chance at anything, as slim a chance as a 20-point comeback in the last 2 minutes might be, if you're going to have any chance of it, you got to throw. And indeed, they come out in shotgun again. 1 receiver to the right, 3 receivers to the left, 1 back behind Payne. Payne takes a snap, rolls to his left a bit, decides to do a short toss, and it's dropped by French. That one was a weird-looking one. I could see what they were thinking, but a rollout to the left and then a pass to the left, what is essentially almost a screen pass. And I'm not sure what happened there, but French dropped it. Just an awkward angle, I guess. And so it'll be 3rd and 10. Blackbirds trying to make something happen, and now they come out in the wishbone. Payne takes the snap, and he gives. I think this is Bendel. He breaks ahead for a nice gain. And that might not have been Will Bendel. That might have been either Marcus Rokes or Dom Matusky. But either way, we got a 4th and 2 here for Keene. They come out in the wishbone once again after the sizable 8-yard run. Now the give once again, and that's going to be a 1st down run. And yes, that is number 28, Dom Matusky, who has gotten the past 2 handoffs and gotten the Blackbirds a 1st down. So they're now at the Monadnock 39-yard line. They cross into enemy territory again, but they are running out of time. 1:13 and counting down. They come out in shotgun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Payne drops back, looks to his left, then looks right, and unloads a throw. Again, overthrows his man. Zion Carroll was on the coverage, and the man maybe had a half step on him. But either way, the throw was way past what anybody could catch. And so Keene will face 2nd and 10. Clock reads 1 minute, 2 seconds, and the scoreboard reads Monadnock 20, Keene 0. Keene comes out in shotgun once again. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Payne takes a snap, decides to throw for a screen pass. They got a pick. Oh, this guy's got daylight. I think he's going to score. He's got 1 man to beat. He dives. Touchdown. That is number 10, the fullback, Jared Rokes. A well-designed play there. You send Rokes on a short out route. you have one receiver go on a slant route the opposite direction to divert some of the defenders, and then you have the last receiver get set for a block after Rokes makes the catch. That gave him all kinds of space, and he was able to come through with a big score. 39 yards on the pass from Tanner Payne to Jared Rokes, and Keene will be going for 2. They come out in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of Payne with one back behind him. Payne takes a snap, drops back, rolls to his right, throws, and I think that might have actually been almost picked off. Well defended. I think that was Jocelyn on the coverage there. Yes, indeed, it was Justin Jocelyn on the coverage, making sure the 2-point conversion was unsuccessful, but Keene at least gets on the board. They get a score in this one. And with 53 seconds left, the scoreboard reads Monadnock 20, Keene 6. So now the question is, does Keene go for the onside kick? At this stage, they have to. So they'll be resting their chances in this game on their coverage team, recovering an onside kick from number 59, Taylor Bemis. Monadnock lining up in a regular kick formation. And Keene's lining up in a regular kickoff formation. This is going to be interesting to see what they do. Bemis now getting ready for the kick. He sends the onside kick ahead, and I think it was grabbed by Monadnock. Well caught and recovered by who else but Zion Carroll, the man of the game with the 3 receiving touchdowns, and now the onside kick recovery that should be able to seal it. Monadnock 20, Keene 6, 50 seconds left in this cross-county matchup. Monadnock offense comes out in the wishbone formation. Doyle takes a snap, gives to Hart. Hart finds a hole, breaks through for about 3 or 4 yards. And the clock will keep running. We're now down to 30 seconds. It is 2nd and 7 at the Keene 48-yard line. And I think one more play should do it. Monadnock, the Huskies coming out in the victory formation, so I think this will be a knee taken by Nate Doyle, and that should end it. Doyle takes a knee, and that clock is going to run out, and that's going to be your ball game, folks. 3, 2, 1, and indeed, that's your ball game. The final score, the hosting Monadnock Huskies 20, the visiting Keene High Blackbirds 6. The Huskies improved to a 3-0 record with their first win over an out-of-division opponent this season. While Keene, I believe this was their first game of the season as they had some more cancellations to deal with. So they dropped to 0-1 on this very, very weird season. Game balls, take your pick. Nate Doyle and Zion Carroll, they connected on 3 passes for 3 touchdowns and some really clutch ones at that. One that went for about 60 yards, one with just 34 seconds left in the first half for 47 yards, and then one on a gutsy 4th and 5 call for a pass from 32 yards out. So, hats off to the Monadnock Huskies for coming away with the win. 20-6 is your final score. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live from Monadnock Regional Middle and High School in Swansea, New Hampshire, signing off. Thank you so much for listening.